lunch. It was very hard to open, and also it's been very long sessions, very informative one. But we college-going guys don't have that much of time to learn new stuff, and we actually learn stuff when we have to actually go for placements, right? And then we go for board chef or something. So today I'm going to tell about something a very easy to learn, easy to do things that you can actually incorporate in your projects and actually can get benefit from it. So I am Aman Sharma. I am CTO at Twimbit and also member of core team at AMP Global. So I'll give you a little bit of time to actually read this name. So I think all of us can agree on the same point. If you have worked with a client project before, that this always happens. He says, okay, I'm paying for it, so let's change the requirements as we go ahead. But this is not the case, and especially developing apps is a difficult level of challenge for us. Can I have a raise of hands? How many actually are web developers over here? HTML, CSS, JavaScript, that I consider to be the minimum viable things required for web development. How many of them? Okay, how many of them are app developers? So I have a bad news for app developers actually. Okay, so let me ask you this question. When was the last time you actually downloaded an app from iOS store or this Google Play Store? And I have cool swags from AMP straight from New York City. So I am ready to distribute it if you answer some questions that I will be asking throughout the session. So how many apps you think on an average user downloads every month? Just guess. Yes. 2? No? Yes? I want raise of hands and then answer. Yeah. 5? No? No? Yes, it's actually 0. On an average, a user installs 0 apps to his device. You know why? Because at every step of app download, 20% users are lost. And there are at least like 5 or 6 steps involved. If the user is a beginner like people in India, nobody is going to install your app. So you spend a lot of time, at least 15 to 20% of your project cost is spent on updation and maintenance of apps that nobody is going to install. And do you know how much on an average it takes to develop a full-fledged app? How many weeks it takes? Any guesses? Yeah, the guy in blue?
500 hours at least.
I need in weeks because that's the answer over here.
I can't do it. I have to calculate.
Yeah? Sorry? No? No? No, you have to go a little bigger.
24 weeks.
No?
52 weeks.
Yeah, actually the answer is 4 months. So can we have swag for that guy over here and also over there? It takes around 18 weeks for a bug or a feature that you tested, you actually wanted a user to download, and it takes 18 weeks from your laptop to the actual person's phone to get downloaded. So is there any actually solution to this thing? And actually it is. That's called progressive web app. And as the name suggests, progressive web apps means apps that are progressing toward, websites that are progressing toward apps. So most of the audience, I think I don't need to introduce PWA again and again. It was a concept created by Chrome back before like 5 or 6 years. And they are reliable. That means they can even work offline, work like a native app. They are fast. You don't need any download time. As soon as you install this code on your website, the user is able to add it to his home screen, as you can see in this demo, and then reuse it again and again. Some of the progressive web app can even work offline. So they are engaging because you can also enable push notifications and use different sensors. I have another quiz for you, and you have to guess for me what are the different sensors and capabilities that PWA can actually use. Okay? I'm gonna ask one of the capability and you have to guess if it's possible or not. Okay? Do you think Bluetooth is possible in PWAs?
No. No.
You can speak in crowd. This is possible.
No.
No? Bluetooth is possible. What do you think about gyro sensors? You can use gyro sensors. What about NFCs? No, it's not. So, not many things are possible, but around 30 plus different functionalities that you might want to use in your progressive web apps, you can use using PWAs. And these are all of the sensor capabilities. You can visit whatwebcando.today to check out, and if any of these capabilities match your next project requirement, you can use PWAs. So now I will tell how you can actually create your own PWA. Are you excited? And it turns out it just takes 5 minutes and 4 easy steps to create a PWA from your website. Okay? So first thing we are going to do is to enable HTTPS. Now HTTPS is not a new concept for us. It stands for Hypertext Transmission Protocol Secured. We don't need to go into the technical stuff, but you can get a SSL certificate free of cost from major hosting providers like Firebase or Netlify. So you have to get that. Why? Because it's required by the native app to get permission to get installed in the person's phone. So we have to enable HTTPS first. Second thing is set up manifest file. Now manifest file should also not be new for you. It actually contains different settings, you can say, that will actually identify your app, including the start URL, how you are going to style it, talking about the theme colors, it's going to be in standalone or full screen mode, or what going to be logo. And this everything you have to set up in the manifest file, and then cross-link into your index.html or PHP page, whatever you want to use, using this link. Next thing is service worker. And the service worker is the most important part in setting up a PWA. So imagine service worker like a person who is sitting on the gate. If I am doing a session right now and everybody is coming, I have to go on the door and attend it. But otherwise, I can have an assistant who can do this job for me, and I need to go to the door only when it's important. Service worker actually does the same. It caches the content from... Amazing. We are offline. Yeah. PWA can work right now also. Maybe this talk was so lightning that we consumed all electricity. Any electric engineer? Okay, we are back. Okay, hello? Gives it some time to get warm up. Okay, we are back again. So service worker is actually a JavaScript file that tells what content needs to be cached from your online server. So these files are including your images, MP4 files, some libraries that you want to use again and again, or normal HTML pages that you can cache on the device storage so that the PWA performs even when it's offline. Okay? So, and you don't need to know coding again to set up a service worker. There is a third-party app called Workbox that sets up a service worker for you. Or if you are a WordPress lover like me, you can use a plugin called as Super PWA to enable your website into a PWA without writing a code. And the last thing is to test your PWA. And as Herschel said, to use Lighthouse. Lighthouse also helps you to test the performance of your app. It measures the performance on of the app on 4 parameters: how much performance it has, how much accessible it is, how much best practices you have used, and finally, if it's enabling the PWA feature on different platforms or not. PWAs are now even installable on desktop. Hello? Okay. So PWA are installable on desktop also, and you can use Lighthouse to test your app performance. Now I have a live setup of an app. This is one of the PWA that we are creating for our own company. And if I go to the application part, you can see the manifest file that contains the colors and the logos, the service worker, which enables if I want to test it or not, or even if I can see the whole file, and also the storage that it has consumed. And you can see almost everything is cached on this PWA. So the user will open on the first time, and next time subsequently, the app will load like even if the internet is offline. So and also the last step that was remaining for PWA was if you really want to list it in Google Play Store. And Chrome had this extension enabled like 1 year back that is called TWA, which is Trusted Web Activity, in which you can convert your PWA into a native app. They have set off a ready-made structure of tools that you can download from Git and then use it in Android Studio to convert your whole PWA project into a TWA and then upload it to Google Play. So that's amazing. Your PWA is working fast as native app, right? But no, more of the times we see this on web pages. Why? Because internet all over the world is not equal, and also the device capabilities are not equal. So we somehow want our app to be fast, right? So do you have any guesses what you can do in order to make your app fast?
So we will remove the JavaScript and use the AMP guidelines for images and videos and all that.
Did you read my presentation before?
No.
But you can give him a slide. That's a cheating. Any other? Any other?
Improvement of the JavaScript engine, like we don't need all the functionality of a full-blown web browser. We could use a subset of those functionalities.
Yeah, amazing. But the problem here is, yes, you also want to say something?
So we can use different tech stacks, like we know React is much faster as compared to non.
Yes, definitely you can do that. But again, yes?
We can use Minify.js and we can use compressed images, or we can use
Yes.
from
So I get the point. Ultimately, we will change the framework or we'll optimize our assets, maybe speed up our hosting somehow. But everybody is not that much technocrat over here, right? Yes? You can only upload that one. So it comes in image optimization, video optimization, but everybody is not a pro champion in that. So what you can do, you can actually use AMP. And people actually are facing already these slow experiences, which are slow loading, unresponsive pages, and content that is displayed by ads. And according to Google, as Harshil again said, 50% users are going to leave your website if it doesn't load within 3 seconds. So this is really daunting. What you can do is to use AMP. Not this AMP, this AMP. So the video talks about a lot also, and then you can visit on YouTube to see how it actually works. AMP stands for Accelerated Mobile Pages. And that is a solution to all the optimizations you set, like including increasing the server rate somehow, to decrease the JavaScript file, to enable scaling of images. AMP does everything for you built in. So AMP uses and enforces best practices to increase the performance, the accessibility of app, reliability of the app, and also to create it responsive from scratch. So, what you can do is to use AMP. And that is a solution to all the optimizations you set, like including increasing the server rate somehow, to enable scaling of images. So AMP does everything for you built in. So AMP uses and enforces best practices to increase the performance, the accessibility of app, reliability of the app, and also to create it responsive the JavaScript frameworks are not new for us. As some of the audience said, React.js or Gatsby or Vue.js, you can use that. But there is a huge learning curve involved in that. AMP, on the other hand, has a very small learning curve. If you already know HTML, JS, and CSS, you already know AMP. AMP helps by including some AMP HTML tags, some AMP JavaScript, and AMP cache, which enables nearly instantly loading pages. AMP improves the web performance by actually enforcing on the best practices, as I said before. It doesn't allow you to use custom HTML tags like img tags or sidebar tags or header bars you want to use. So you have to only use AMP HTML components. And then custom JavaScript is also not allowed, which is the biggest reason which slows down the website. You can use AMP JavaScript or AMP script, which is a new component in which you can validate your web pages and will deliver high performances. Also, you cannot use CSS that is more than 50 KB. You can use inline CSS though. So AMP does everything for you out of the box if you just follow these guidelines. And learning AMP for web development is also very easy because it uses standard HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. It's compatible with almost all the modern web browser, and you don't need any special server or tooling or any CLI you have to install on your desktop. So it's very easy. And AMP offers a lot of components, which are basically AMP websites, AMP stories, AMP ads, and AMP emails. So firstly, talking about AMP websites, these are web pages that are enabled by AMP. These are nearly instantly loading websites that are created just using AMP components. As you can see in this example, we have replaced a custom img tag with the AMP img tag, and this will automatically add the lazy load, scaling up of images, and caching the images offline for us just by using this tag. And also, you don't need to add the responsive design. AMP allows it just out of the box. And Insights also shows us that the companies who are already using AMP have greater success. India today has increased its search traffic by 6 times. And Gizmodo, a tech magazine, increased their loading speed of website by 3 times. So this actually shows how good AMP actually is. So AMP, the biggest advantage that I see of AMP is if you enable AMP in your website, it will rank on the top of Google search results, like you see in this example. And your web page will load like it was already on the person's phone. So all the web will feel like it's